Now let's take a look at how we traverse two-dimensional arrays. This is something you'll do a lot when working with grid-like data structures in Java. Before we actually start traversing, it's important to understand how the length property works in a 2D array. In Java, a 2D array is really just an array of arrays. Each row is itself a separate one-dimensional array. So when you use matrix.length, what you're getting is the number of rows. And if you want to get the number of columns in a particular row, you write matrix open bracket row index close bracket dot length. Take a look at the 2D grid below. This represents an array with 3 rows and 4 columns. You can think of it as 3 horizontal rows stacked top to bottom, and each row contains 4 numbers going across. In the Java code snippet below, we declare this 2D array. Int double bracket matrix equals open curly brace 1, 2, 3, 4, close curly brace, open curly brace, 5, 6, 7, 8, close curly brace, open curly brace 9, 10, 11, 12, close curly brace, semicolon. Then we print out the number of rows and the number of columns in the first row. System.out.println, open, quote matrix.length, open parentheses number of rows, close parentheses, colon space, close quote, plus matrix.length, close parentheses semicolon. System.out.println, open quote matrix 0.length, open parentheses number of columns in row 0, close parentheses colon space, close quote, plus matrix bracket 0 bracket dot length, close parentheses semicolon. When this runs, the output will be matrix.length, number of rows is 3 matrix bracket 0 bracket dot length, number of columns in row 0 is 4. Now let's actually traverse this array. The most common way is by using nested loops, one loop inside the other. The outer loop goes through each row, and the inner loop goes through each column within that row. In the Java code snippet below, we'll do exactly that. Int double bracket matrix equals the same 3x4 array as before. Then we write, for open parentheses int row equals 0, row is less than matrix.length, row plus plus close parentheses inside that loop, we write another for loop. For open parenthesis int col equals 0. Col is less than matrix bracket row bracket dot length. Col plus plus close parentheses inside the inner loop. We print the element using system.out.print matrix bracket row bracket bracket col bracket plus a space after the inner loop ends. We move to the next line with system.out.print ln open close. When this code runs, it prints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's break down how this works. The outer loop starts with row equals 0 and keeps going until it's less than matrix.length. So it's going through each row one at a time. Then for each row, the inner loop starts at column 0 and goes through each column in that row. Each element is accessed using matrix bracket, row bracket, bracket, column bracket. We call this row major traversal. That's because we're visiting every element row by row. Refer to the diagram of the 2D grid below. You'll see the data being read left to right, one row at a time from top to bottom. Now let's say we wanted to read the array column by column instead. That's called column major order. To do that, we switch the order of the loops. The outer loop goes through each column, and the inner loop goes through each row. Here's what the Java code snippet looks like. We use the same matrix declaration as before. Then, for open parentheses int col equals 0, col is less than matrix bracket 0 bracket dot length, col plus plus close parentheses inside that. For open parentheses int row equals 0, row is less than matrix dot length, row plus plus close parenthesis. Then we print system.out.print matrix bracket row bracket bracket col bracket plus space, and again system.out.println open close. This prints the elements like this: 1, 5, 9, 2, 6, 10, 3, 7, 4, 8, 12. Refer to the 2D grid diagram below. You'll notice the array is now being read top to bottom, column by column. Each column is visited completely before moving on to the next one. Now let's talk about enhanced for loops, which are also known as for each loops. These loops make the code easier to read, but they only work in row major order. In the Java code snippet below, we loop through each row first, then each element within the row. We write, for open parentheses int bracket row colon matrix close parentheses. Then inside that, for open parentheses int element colon row close parentheses. System.out.println open quote element colon space close quote plus element. This will print element 1, element 2, element 3, element 4, element 5, element 6, element 7, element 8, element 9, element 10, element 11, element 12. Here's what's happening. The enhanced for loop automatically grabs each row from the matrix one at a time. Each row is a one-dimensional array.